What is catching everyone's attention right now is the growing tension around Constantino Chiwenga and Emerson Mnangagwa, and this headline is clearly built to spark curiosity. Because when people hear a witness has been brought, the first question is always, what exactly was said and why is it so important that it could leave someone without an answer? So imagine the situation carefully. In politics, especially at that level, nobody just brings a witness for nothing. It usually means there is a disagreement behind the scenes, something serious enough that words alone are no longer enough, and someone else needs to confirm a version of events. That is where the drama comes in, and that is why people are talking. Now, if you are enjoying this kind of breakdown, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because I will keep bringing you simple and clear explanations like this every time something big drops. Let's break this down in a way everyone can follow. When people say Chiwenga brings a witness, it could mean a political insider, a military figure, or someone who was present during a key decision. In Zimbabwe's political space, the relationship between civilian leadership and military influence has always been very sensitive. So any suggestion that someone is stepping forward to speak changes the balance of power in that moment. And this is where the headline becomes very powerful. It suggests that whatever this witness said was strong enough to leave Mnangagwa with no immediate response. Now, in real politics, it is rare for leaders to truly have no answer. What usually happens is silence, delay, or a careful response later. But in media storytelling, that silence is what creates tension and keeps people watching. Think about it like this. If two top figures are not fully aligned, every small move becomes a signal. Bringing someone to speak can be seen as applying pressure or even sending a message to others watching from the background. If you are following this closely, don't forget to like and subscribe, because these small details are what help you understand the bigger picture. Now let's talk about what this could mean in a broader sense. Zimbabwe has gone through moments in the past where internal dynamics shaped national direction. So when people see headlines like this, they immediately connect it to questions like, is there disagreement? Is there a shift coming? Or is this just political strategy playing out in the public? Another important thing is perception. In politics, what people believe is sometimes more powerful than what is actually said. If the public starts to feel like one side is more prepared, more confident, or backed by stronger voices, that alone can change the conversation across the country. And that's why a witness becomes a big deal. It is not just about one person speaking. It is about credibility. It is about showing that a claim is not standing alone. Let me slow it down even more so everyone understands clearly. Imagine two leaders discussing something serious. One speaks, the other responds. But then one side says, I have someone who was there, let them talk. At that point, the situation changes completely. It moves from opinion to something that feels like proof. That is the kind of moment this headline is trying to capture. If you are still with me, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because I'm breaking this down in a way that keeps it simple and real. Now, let's also be careful. Headlines like these are often exaggerated to attract attention. They use strong words like no answer to make the situation sound more dramatic than it may actually be. In reality, political discussions are complex and responses can come later, not immediately. So instead of taking everything at face value, it's better to look at patterns. Are there increasing signs of tension? Are there public disagreements? Are there shifts in tone when these leaders speak? Those are the real indicators. Another angle to consider is timing. When something like this comes out, you have to ask, why now? What is happening around this moment? Is there a policy debate? Is there internal restructuring? Is there pressure from the public? Because in politics, timing is never random. And let me remind you again, if you want more clear and simple breakdowns like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's talk about the audience reaction. People naturally love stories where there is tension, especially when it involves powerful figures. That's why this kind of headline spreads fast. Everyone wants to know what was said, who is telling the truth, what happens next. But the real value is not just in the drama, it is in understanding the system behind it. Leadership is not just about public speeches, it is also about negotiations, alliances, and sometimes the disagreements that never fully come into the open. So when something like a witness is brought, enters the conversation, it suggests that something that was hidden is now being pushed into the light. And that is why it feels important. At the same time, we should not jump to conclusions. One moment does not define the entire relationship between leaders. Sometimes these situations are resolved quietly and things continue as normal. But sometimes they mark the beginning of bigger changes. That is why people are paying attention. If you are enjoying this, go ahead and like this video and subscribe right now, because I will keep you updated in a simple and clear way every time something like this comes up.